5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglosh for the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. And we are live. And I got a new light. And now you can see the WDMA logo really well, I think. At least I hope you can. I clicked on that thing, so I got everybody rolling. Got the sound coming in again. Okay, and let's start with something fun, right? As usual, start with something fun. Bing.
If you want to look good and not be bummy, yo, you better give me that.
Hey, dirty, baby, I got your laundry, don't you worry. I said, hey, baby, I got your laundry. Hey, dirty, baby, I got your laundry, don't you worry. I said, hey, baby, I got your laundry.
The new LG Wash Tower. Redefine laundry in half the space.
Okay, so the couple of things I like about that. One thing I like about it is that it at least acknowledges that women do laundry. I got a little tired of seeing only men doing laundry. Now, I'm not saying men don't do laundry, and I'm not saying that only women do laundry. I'm saying it's nice to see some of each. I do laundry, but the way I do laundry is I throw all of the colors in together and the whites. And everything comes out gray, which is kind of what I like. I like gray. And sometimes I'll separate the reds because, but I've gotten away from the color of undergarments that gets changed in color. Per Scott Adams, I wrote and told him his number one viewed video was on how to do laundry. I don't know why, but anyway, he said, why do we have white undergarments? Why don't we have a different color? So anyway, let's go on. Oh, I also like that the LG was saying that you can do more laundry in less time. We bought a Whirlpool, and, you can't try them out in the store, right? So you look at them, you open the lid, and it's, and they got some capacity and stuff. Our new wash machine takes literally 3 times longer than the old one did. Can't speed it up. That's for energy saving. How does it save energy? I don't know. But however they measured it, it tweaked the scale. And so instead of giving us what we want, which is to get the laundry done, they gave us some weird, I don't know what. We've got a well. We've got a septic tank. We can deal with water, but it's terrible. It's like, I would have figured out a way to fix the old one. They're not that hard to fix. My son-in-law and I have fixed a couple of them now. But I like that LG is back to washes the clothes fast. What an idea. What an idea. That's probably some kind of breakthrough. Anyway, let's get back to the stories at hand. Target sees unprecedented growth. Unprecedented, okay? They're up a lot. And down here it says how much. 21% in the third quarter. Comparable sales year over year. Digitally, they're up 155%. And they said someplace in the survey, they said 34%, 1/3 of Americans went to a Target during the pandemic just to browse and get out of the house. And I've always used their free delivery right before Christmas because you can send a 5-pound bag of M&Ms for like $20. So it's a good gift for clients. They don't understand that M&M is the official candy of Miglosh Marketing, but I call them up and I explain what's going on. So anyway, there's at least good news for that one, and it says during the pandemic. Anyway, my style consultant says I should do shorter shows, so I'm limiting myself today. But Summer, who I always like to read her articles, says how scented direct mail can increase response rates. Okay. Our sense of smell is extremely powerful. It can elicit memories, and I was thinking of memories just as I went through. Just connected to smell. And if you're watching me right now, you can think about that. You can think about maybe a special hot cup of coffee you had on a cold day, or I don't know. I'm just not going to worry about it. I remember the way my elementary school smelled. Really odd. Went back there, decades later. Still smelled like that. Okay, smell is the part of our brain that affects emotions, memory, and creativity. And in case you haven't noticed, your brain and your smell is really connected close together. Whereas your touch is way out here. You got your hand, fingers, and they're long ways away from your brain. Even though your brain has 10 times more receptors for touch. But anyway, so then Summer says, it'll increase your response, so you should add it. And I have to take issue, Summer, with you on this one. And I take issue with this on everybody. I once helped launch the General Binding Corporation catalog. And General Binding made those machines that spiral bound papers, And I said, what would be fun is to see if you could send out a catalog with those spines on it instead of just staples. And they just looked at me and said, that would be too expensive. And I understand where they're coming from. But I said, when you say that would be too expensive, you don't understand direct mail. You don't understand testing. You don't understand direct marketing at all. The question isn't how much does it cost. The question is how much does it move the needle for that cost, right? I talked about this a little yesterday, right? It's not that adding another channel to your marketing mix won't increase performance. The question is, can you add another channel while subtracting a different channel so that your budget stays the same and get better results? That's the question. So in here, we don't want to really know, can smell change the results? Of course it can. It will change it. It'll either give you better or worse, probably. I mean, depending on how many you test. And you got to test a certain number. We're not going to talk about that today. So the question is not that we should be asking is not should we add it, but should we test it? And should we test it in a way that confirms some deep-seated sensual drive? So that said, what's good about Summer is she starts with the basics. Let's figure out what you want to say. It's not just conveyed with words, but also with images. Okay, so that's straight up. Not even to smell yet. Identify the emotion. What are you trying to make people feel? The best Billy Graham ad for the I'm trying to think of, anyway, the best headline, I did a study of all kinds of headlines for their annuity division. That's a word. And the best one was, the state will make your will. Okay? The state will make your will, or something like that. The state will write your will. And that is eliciting fear that, oh my gosh, I don't have a will, and if I die, the state would write it, and it's not going to go where I want it to go necessarily. And if you wanted it to go to your church or your favorite charity, it probably 100% for sure won't go there. Because that wouldn't be what most people do. They'd divide it with their kids or somebody else, So that was their number one fear headline. Fear is a good headline. Okay. I saw on The Hustle, they had a test of yesterday's story, which I didn't cover, about how McDonald's is doing better than they were. And they had a big turnaround in 2015. And the headline that I saw was, McDonald's is crushing it. And there were three others. McDonald's returns to profitability. How did McDonald's turn it around? Those sorts of things. And I picked crushing it. That would definitely be the one I would use. And so that was the one that won. I have a knack for that. But anyway, so what emotion are you after? Call to action. And then after that, what's sent? And then she advocates a focus group, which I thought was really interesting because you don't see too many direct marketers using focus groups, right? It's just not, it's like, is it a thing? Yeah, it could be a thing, but it's not, it's not we're not anti that, but I really like that she went outside of what I might have said, which is just traditional testing. A group of people to bounce these ideas off, not employees, so you get honest feedback. That doesn't mean you'll get honest feedback. You'll get feedback. That's what you'll get. Because the trouble is that we don't understand our sense of smell very well. I mean, we obviously understand bad smell, right? We caught a mouse in the basement type smell. That's a pretty profound one. I was thinking that maybe for the pandemic it would be nice to have a clean smell. What would a clean smell be? And I was thinking, what would be good is maybe that Purell smell. That's mainly alcohol. It's mainly gelled alcohol. But it has a kind of a nice clean smell. You could do direct mail on that, except they don't sell direct. They sell at retail mostly. Summer says brownie mix. You're selling brownie mix? Let's get a really good smell of brownie mix. And I liked how she said really good. But the problem is there a really good smell of brownie mix that would rival what it smells like when you pull it out of the oven? Probably not. I doubt we could get that on a mailer. And Summer, feel free to chime in and correct me if I'm wrong. We should do an interview. It'd be fun. I was thinking that if you were selling brownies, you might want to just go with chocolate. Chocolate is a pretty good smell, and I think it's probably doable because I've run across it a couple of times in mailers. Not often. Garden center, I was thinking maybe the smell of peat or really good, like cedar wood chips might be a good smell that you could actually achieve. Floral scent, I'm not so sure. There's a lot more to garden centers than that. But there's this kind of earthy smell that you get when you actually go in the garden center. And also pesticides, but I wouldn't put that on there necessarily. Although, you might run into a lot of trouble with that one, but it might work. And then she says, and then it was cleanser. Imagine a cleanser that gets rid of skunk smell. I'm not even sure if there is such a thing. So try the scent of skunk to remind people how horrible it is. Again, let me reiterate. I would recommend highly that you test this idea in small quantities before you roll this out. I'm not saying that a foul odor on a mailer might not be effective, but I'm not sure the print shop would want to do it. You might have trouble getting a quote on that job. Yeah, just catch a skunk outside and spray the thing. Every piece of mail in that production facility would smell like skunk. How would you get the skunk smell out of the plant? You'd have to buy boatloads of this stuff. Anyway, the best part about using scent is that you can use either good or bad scents depending on how you want to spin it. Sometimes the better choice is bad smell. And now there is something where it alludes to that Summer actually has experience in this. It would be so great to hear your experience, Summer, because I've never dropped anything in the mail that deliberately had smell added to it, ever. Not that I couldn't have. I can say that the coated stock, we did a paper test once, and I think I mentioned this recently, it was a 300,000 piece test in each panel with groundwood versus coated stock. And the groundwood has a smell to it. When you get your FSIs, like in the Sunday paper or newspaper, newspaper is printed on groundwood, and it has kind of an earthy smell. And I think it is associated with sale flyers because they're generally rotogravure on groundwood. And we got a 20% lift on that. And I was thinking, was it the paper, or was it that they really thought, yeah, Phoenix, would you do a skunk scratch and sniff in your plant? I wouldn't. I see he's saying scratches. Yeah, I've gotten scratch and sniffs, but too often I don't realize what's going on because I'm not the one who really reads the mail, as you know. Okay, It says, don't be afraid to reach a little with your scent connection. Just make sure to fact check it with other people. Right. So anyway, Summer, if you have any examples, there I just gave you one, where the ground wood not only saved us money, but increased our sales by 20% in that panel. Way more than statistically valid, right? Okay, way more than statistically valid. So, oh, I see. I got to scroll down. No, he wouldn't do the skunk test. Okay, so if you have any results that verify your article, which I thought was excellent and makes us all think about the capabilities of mail engaging yet another sense, right? But I would really love to hear them, and I hope you put them in, because most of us would rather see which one won than these are ideas you might implement. Anyway, enough for now. I talked too long, even with 2 articles. So have a great day. Like and share. Your friends will know you're smart. And visit the WDMA.org. Subscribe. It's free. Or support our efforts and join. We'd love to have you. We'd love to have your help. Bye-bye.